Charlie Chaplin is one of the most esteemed talents of the silent comedy era, with classics including The Kid, City Lights, Modern Times, and The Great Dictator cemented as all-time comedy greats. One classic from his 1920s filmography, The Circus, is unique among his oeuvre for two infamous reasons. While The Circus was the first recipient in history of a special award, the honor was a dubious one. At the first Academy Awards, The Circus had initially been nominated for Best Writer, Best Actor, and Best Comedy Director, before those nominations were rescinded in favor of a single, non-competitive honorary award. Additionally, the film is Chaplin's only film that received no mention in his 1964 autobiography, My Autobiography. The reasons for these historical oddities have been subject to debate. Coming off the success of The Gold Rush, The Circus was Chaplin's next outing. The film saw Chaplin's The Tramp mistaken for a pickpocket before accidentally becoming a lauded part of a circus act. It was far from the first appearance of the character in Chaplin's filmography, but it marked an high point for his portrayal and characterization of the character. The film was a box office success, taking in a reported $3.8 million in 1928. Given the film's warm public reception, why the cold shoulder from both the early Academy and Chaplin himself? As is often the case, the answer boils down to unique historical situations. Despite proving a profitable success for Chaplin, making The Circus was, for many reasons, an extremely difficult experience for the comedy legend. First, his studio burned down during its production. If that wasn't bad enough, Chaplin was able to reshoot them, but he wasn't satisfied with the new takes by comparison. Additionally, Chaplin went through a messy public divorce during its production, which halted production for 8 further months for both legal and psychological reasons. These factors understandably soured Chaplin on the film, and after its initial theatrical run, Chaplin kept the film out of circulation for nearly 40 years before allowing a reissue in 1970. These factors likely influenced his decision to sidestep its inclusion in his career account. As for the Academy's decision, the first Academy Awards ceremony came at a unique time in film history. As chronicled in Michael Schulman's Oscar Wars, public perception of fledgling Hollywood lambasted it as a den of debauchery after the arrest of Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle following Virginia Rapp's death. The mysterious death of Olive Thomas, wife of star Mary Pickford's brother Jack Pickford, and other factors. These situations fueled the initial creation of the Academy as part of an attempt to rebrand the embattled motion picture industry. Additionally, just months prior to The Circus, came the industry-shifting first sound picture, The Jazz Singer. The Academy took every nomination decision with precise seriousness in an industry racked with both monumental change and by a succession of scandals. While it's hard to definitively say what the Academy founders were exactly thinking in closed-door meetings, as Mason Wiley and Damian Bona note in Inside Oscar, the unofficial history of the Academy Awards, Charlie Chaplin was the most respected artist in Hollywood at the time the nomination and voting processes were ongoing. The Academy's Central Board of Judges axed his nominations, instead offering the special award as a consolation prize of sorts. The award pivot could have been in fear that his popularity would overwhelm other candidates, or it could have resulted from political calculations following months of his name being dragged through the mud due to a messy divorce. Either way, the special award was accepted by William C. DeMille on Chaplin's behalf, with DeMille stating he thought Chaplin would be the only one to whom the Academy has or ever will give a first award to one man for writing, directing, acting, and producing a picture. Technically, DeMille was right. Orson Welles received 4 nominations for writing, directing, acting in, and producing Citizen Kane, and Warren Beatty was nominated for writing, directing, acting in, and producing Reds, but each only walked away with a single award. Sean Baker won 4 competitive Oscars for Honora, but none of which were for acting.